Yes, yes, it is going down. Dash Radio. I'm DJ Skee, and you know how we like to do. New artist time.
Oh, yeah.
New alert. Hold on. I've known this man for a minute. Z and I, what's up, brother?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Welcome into our brand new Dash at the Dream Studios.
I love it, man.
I'm excited to get you up here and really introduce you to the world.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
You've been grinding behind the scenes for a long time. People think making it as an artist happens overnight. Let's talk about your journey, where you're from, and what you're about.
Yeah, sure. So I'm originally from Seattle, Washington, but my family's from Zimbabwe. Both my parents are Zimbabwean, but I was born in Seattle, Washington. Lived in Africa for about 4 years. So, you know, that was a great experience.
Did you? I didn't realize you lived. Wow, that's crazy. How old were you when you lived in Africa?
So that was my high school years, or actually 3 out of the 4 high school years.
What was it like growing up in Africa, and what was the music scene like that out there at that time?
Man, the music scene, I mean, they were pretty much listening to everything. Obviously, you know, it's a little bit harder to get the new American music, you know, at the time. But, you know, we always found ways to get it. But the music scene is very eclectic in Africa. Yeah. You know, they listen to everything from African music to European music, like French music. It all just depends.
That's what's so dope about your music. It really reflects all these styles. We got a record we're going to premiere, much, much more. You're rocking with us for the next little bit, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm here.
Z9's in the building. It's Dash Radio. DJ Skee, don't go nowhere.
All right.
As we continue on, it's Dash Radio, rocking you through your day. I'm DJ Skee. Z and I up here.
Yes, sir.
What's up, brother? So we were just talking about your upbringing. And how would you describe your musical style? We got a big record we're going to play in a little bit. But before we get that, let's get people kind of a little more familiar with you and get them starting to talk about what that sound is. So how would you describe your sound and style? We talked about your African heritage and roots, literally living there. Seattle has a very unique music scene. Everything from, of course, like hip-hop, alternative rock, you name it, right? Like Seattle's an incredible scene. What is your style and sound?
I like to call it international pop.
That's a great way to put it, right?
Yeah, great way to put it. International pop, global pop with a bit of an urban undertone. Just because that's, you know, besides African music, you know, I grew up actually doing African music, playing marimbas and biras and drums with my father, performing ever since I was from the age of 8. But that's another conversation to be had. But yeah, I started off with African instruments, obviously, but from there, you know, it just I would call it, I guess, urban hip hop. R&B was like my next thing. So, you know, I'm heavily influenced by that as well. So I would call it international pop with a bit of like an urban undertone to it.
That's a good way to put it. Now, you personally, what's your favorite album of all time? What did you listen to like growing up? What was your go-tos? Just so we can hear what that influence is.
Go-tos or go-to?
Let's say go-tos. Let's say a couple. It's always tough to just name one. Unless you got one off top.
Can I give you 3?
Give me 3. That's perfect.
All right. The first one is obviously Michael Jackson, Bad.
Okay. You can't go wrong.
Number 1. Can't go wrong with that. Second, I'm going to go Keen, Under the Iron Sea, just because of what it took me through. And then third, and I'm just kind of talking about it if I was stranded on a desert island. And third, I would go Outkast, AT-Aliens.
It's such an incredible album, especially like around summertime this time of year. It's just something that, you know, brings back memories. You can bump front to back, and so diverse musically.
Yes, it's really diverse, man. Like,
how old is that album now?
I think AT-Alien came out in '96.
It's crazy. 22 years later, and it still sounds fresh today.
I mean, for me, you know, I don't know about everybody else, but if I was on a desert island, that's what I would do.
I love it right there. Anyways, let's say favorite song of all time. You got one?
Yeah, Thriller. Easy.
Thriller. Can't go wrong. You know what? Let's get into some MJ here. You ready for that? Z9's in the building. It's going down. I'm DJ Skee. It's Dash Radio. Don't go nowhere. Yes, yes. As we continue on, we are live from the world famous Dream Dash Radio Studios in Hollywood, California, all the way from Seattle by way of Africa, by way of AT-Aliens. You guys are here in the building. So we're talking about your style, your favorite music. Let's talk about your story coming up and what it was like growing up in Seattle, moving to Africa, and then coming back to the States. I'm sure it's giving you an interesting perspective on the world.
Yeah, it did. And, you know, I really like it because it gave me more of an open-mindedness when it comes to a lot of things, just experiencing the different cultures, right? So born in Seattle and then, you know, moved to Africa with my father, lived there for 4 years, and just experiencing the different culture while I was in Africa. Like, you know, obviously people think Africa is all about, you know, poor villages and all that. Nah, I mean, you know, we had a really nice house. Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, life was good. My father, you know, he worked with the University of Zimbabwe. He was a lecturer at the time. And then, you know, just from going there and then going to the village where he grew up at, you know, in Mutare, going to his village and just kind of, you know, you're out there and it's huts and stuff, right? That's how he grew up. You know, so being able to experience that and then, you know, go back into the city in Zimbabwe and then, you know, live in the United States as well, it gave me a very cultural balance.
Yeah. And how do you think that reflects in your music?
Oh, totally reflects in it just because of all the different influences that I've had. That's the one thing about me that I can say I think that kind of makes me a little bit unique is because I have so many different musical influences and it's hard to, and sometimes I think it's kind of been a gift and a curse because sometimes, you know, people will be like, well, what genre is he? And that's what the closed-minded person's going to say, right?
And so how do you respond to that? What genre are you?
I don't have a genre.
It's good.
I don't think I am. I don't know, man. I'm the Z and I genre, I guess. I don't know.
I love it right there. Z and I's up in the building. We are rocking with you. Live from Hollywood is Dash Radio. I'm DJ Skee. Don't go nowhere. Yes, it is going down, Dash Radio. DJ Skee introducing you to new music, new artists all the time. Today, my guy Z and I is up here in the building. We are about to premiere a new record from him in a second. Before we do that, though, let's talk about all the things that you've been doing. You've been deep in the scene. Doing so many things. I mean, I see you all over the place. You're working with companies that we work with, like even the Wellbeing Trust. I see you with Xbox doing all this stuff. Talk about all the things you've been doing behind the scenes, man.
Well, basically, you know, I would like to say my corporate relationship, my relationship with corporate actually started with Adidas. They had a program called the Impossible is Nothing campaign that they were running, and what they were basically doing was pairing up-and-coming artists with athletes, Adidas athlete football players. Long story short, I got paired up with Mario Williams. He was the #1 pick at the time that year. I think so.
Yeah, not a bad guy to get paired up with. No,
not at all. So I did the record. It actually went really well, and that turned into an opportunity for me to start doing Foley sound design. So I did a Lionel Messi commercial that I did the sound design to, you know, music and all that.
Yeah, people don't realize all the work that you've done behind the scenes. Again, not just starting up overnight, but you were doing commercials, doing major things without your name getting known for it. Now it's the first time you're just putting your face out there.
Yeah, you know, I mean, a lot of people, you know, in the industry are familiar with me as far as some of the things I've done, as far as, you know, influencer activations with artists. There's a lot of artists out there that don't even know that I was part of them getting certain sponsorships. You know, yeah, they had no clue that I was actually like, yeah, that's a good one to do right there.
Awesome.
But yeah, so basically started with Adidas, the Impossible is Nothing campaign, and then that just turned into something me becoming, you know, a producer, like I said, doing commercials, and then after that, it turned into me kind of being working as a consultant in a sense, and just helping with influencer activations, whether it was artists, athletes, actresses, actors, all that.
Amazing.
Some of the brands I've worked with obviously are Adidas, Xbox, T-Mobile, Disney, Wellbeing Trust.
Just a couple.
I mean, should I keep...
Slight stunts.
Let me stop.
That's good. We're going to give it a chance. Now, everybody's hitting us up for the music. We got it coming up right after this break. It's going down. DJ Skee and I don't go nowhere. It's Dash Radio. So we continue on. Always breaking new music now.
Always.
You know that's all we're about. I love introducing new artists, breaking new records, breaking new music. And
that's what you do.
That's what we try, man. I appreciate it. Now, we've been talking about this all show long. People have been rocking with us. They want to hear the music. Can we play something? You want to drop something?
Yeah.
What you want to get into? Let's talk about this record first.
Sure.
What you got?
So
what you blessing us with?
We're gonna give the people Nobody.
Okay,
I love this one. Yeah. I mean, hey, you know, I remember I played it for you, and you were like, "Yeah," you gave me the thumbs up. I was like, "Okay, let's go with it." Yeah, we're gonna bless them with Nobody. That's the first song. It's got a very, very international vibe to it. It's a very fun / romantic, maybe a little bit of that, like, you know, exciting record.
Just perfect for us. Dash Radio, available worldwide. Let's get into the premiere right now. Z and I.
Let's go. Z and I. Nobody. Z and I International.
Remember we heard it first. DJ Skee on Dash.
That's right.
New music right there. I told y'all we had Z and I, the man behind that record. We just premiered on Dash. How you feeling, man? How's it? It sounds great on air, right? It sounds great on radio.
Wow.
That's how we do it. Whole worldwide.
That's all I'm
audience.
gonna say. All I'm gonna say is wow, thank you.
See, it's worldwide pop. That's what
you played
said.
it. You played it first.
That's how we do. See, I like this.
That's what you do. You break records, bro.
We got it on tape. We got it on everything else. It's Dash Radio. That's how we do. Let's talk about when did you make that record and kind of why you feel that like why'd you come with like it's such a unique sound and style and merging of all these genres. How did this record come together?
That's the thing, and I think it was a great representation of who I am and the direction I want to go. It meets all the different vibes that I'm on, and that's what I love about it. It was actually produced by Cloud9 Music. Shout out to them. They're actually working on they're working on the majority of the album right now. So those boys, man, they're something that they're killer for sure. So shout out to them, Cloud9 Music. But I heard the record, I heard the beat, I heard the track, and I loved it. The first thing that came to mind was nobody, and I was like, okay.
And that's it. Just came together that simple in the studio.
It just came together, man. It came together that simple. Laid the vocals, wrote the verses and everything, and sounds great.
Do you feel like your best records come together quick like that? Sometimes is it just something instantly, or do you find the best ones of some people's processes? They'll sit in the studio for days and hours and sit on a record. Some are like, yo, when it comes to me, it just happens instantly.
I think when it happens instantly, I know with me personally, I know when it happens instantly. There's just because of the vibe and just how fresh it is, it just goes. I try to capture the moment every time. But sometimes you have to go back and, touch another record and just kind of, you go home, you listen to it and you say, oh, you know what, I could do this better. And that's fine. Some of them you listen to them and you're like, you know what, I ain't touching that.
Z and I's in the building. It's Dash Radio. I'm DJ Skee. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. As we continue on, it's Dash Radio. We are live from the Dream Hotel in Hollywood, California.
Oh, yeah.
Inside our Dash studios. This is like the epicenter of the world. We got all the hottest clubs, hottest everything, hottest artists in the building. So, one thing that we've actually been working on in doing in this studio here at Dash is in conjunction with our friends at Providence St. Joseph Health. And I know you've been doing some stuff with them, right?
Yeah.
Why is this cause so important to you personally? Because for us, I think we're launching a Red Pill series right here on Dash soon on a brand new project that we're doing where we're going to be discussing a lot of those issues. To you personally, why is this project so important?
For me personally, it was also, when my parents passed away, because I lost them at such a young age, and I went crazy to a point where I was even, contemplating suicide to that level.
And what got you out of that? How did you get out of that hole? Because I'm sure there's listeners out there that will face those same situations. What was it for you personally that helped to get you and move you past that?
It was a couple of things, but some of the things that will come to mind right now is, I joined a youth group, so that was very helpful because I was able to be around. I basically it started off with me deciding that this is not the route I want to go. So it was a conscious decision with myself first. Yeah. And then I made the appropriate steps. I started hanging, I went to a youth group, and it was very impactful. It gave me something to look forward to every Friday night, to go be around a lot of different people. And the youth pastor at the time, he would let us get up and talk about what we're dealing with during the week. And he'd pair us up and give us what he called accountability partners, so that you'd have to call this person at least 2 or 3 times a week to check on them.
It just shows how important the community element is, and just
that's
talking
what it
with
is.
People, right?
And that's the scary part, man. Without going too much into it, that's what scares me the most about where we're at right now, is that people are losing that whole concept of community. It's all about social media. It's all about that, but it's like human interaction, fellowship is like. Nobody wants to be bothered. People don't want to talk. No one wants to. Yeah. So you go home and you're in your own little world, and the mind can go crazy when it's isolated.
See, that's what I love about radio too. It's for community. It's people. You feel the energy. There's people out there listening live right now. We're in here communicating, and it's why I think it's such an important platform and a great medium for to be talking about these things. I thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think let's play this Logic record right now. I think it's perfect timing for that.
I think so too, man. Shout out to Logic too, man, for that record.
So much, and I know it blew up, and a lot of people he's faced some backlash for it, but it's such an incredible song, and it's done so
powerful.
Much.
The first time I heard it, honestly speaking, I was driving on the freeway, and the first time it came on, I was like, okay, where's this going? I don't know if I like
magical.
This. And then when I just listened to the whole thing, I was like in awe.
It gave me like goosebumps.
Yeah, I had goosebumps, man. So shout out to Logic, man, for sure.
We're rocking with you right now. It's Dash Radio. Don't go nowhere. As we keep it riding, it is Dash Radio. I'm DJ Skee. We are rocking with you live from Hollywood, California, inside of our brand new Dash Radio Dream Studios. Not a bad spot. We had Ice Cube. Was I think the last interview I did in here. Now we got Z and I up in the building.
Wow, after Ice Cube?
Not bad, right?
Oh, man.
We starting a little and stuff. Shout out to everybody that's walking by the alleyway. We got a little audience watching and stuff. So,
little audience.
Anyways, I know you gotta get out of here. Got a bunch of other things before you dip. What's planned for the rest of the year, man? What you got coming up, Z and I?
Oh man, right now it's just a matter of just getting the single out there, getting as many people to just getting it out there.
And they can people go listen to it right now and stream it on Spotify?
Oh yeah, it's everywhere.
There it is.
Everywhere.
So you can go listen to it right now. Z and I is how people find you, right?
Mm-hmm. Z and I, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
That easy.
So as you sound so for your search engine optimization, look those things up.
Yep.
Nobody Z and I. Thank you so much for coming up here and introducing this music, telling us your story. Any last shout outs or anything else you want to say to our audience worldwide?
Shout out to Dash Radio. Shout out to Dash Dream. Shout out to DJ Skee.
That's what we do.
Shout out to Wellbeing Trust. Shout out to Seattle, Washington. Shout out to Harare, Zimbabwe. Shout out to Africa. Shout out to everybody, man.
I love it. I hear this record beat. This sounds like, I love the whole African style. I mean, I think when you listen to a lot of records out right now are so influenced by Africa. I think there's a whole musical genre. I think you have a huge, huge opportunity, especially taking your experiences growing up listening to that. That's why I love this record. It's really, I guess, no other way to say it, but international pop.
That's exactly what it is. And I'm not off to a bad start either, so killing it.
Z and I in the building. We appreciate you.
Skee.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, man.
Blessing us with the premiere. Yes, it goes down. It is Dash Radio. I'm DJ Skee. I'm out for the day. Till then, we'll see y'all tomorrow. We out.